Today we're talking to Viktor Gorchev, who just released his Kickstarter for Blacklight, compatible with Shadowdark RPG. This is a crazy game that's inspired by the Backrooms, the SCP Foundation, and all sorts of paranormal investigation and paramilitary organizations going after monsters and putting them back in the ground where they belong. We talked to Viktor for about an hour over on our locals community, so if you want to see the entire interview, and you definitely do, go and check that out there. But we're going to give you some highlights and tell you a little bit about what you can expect from Blacklight and why you're going to want to back this on Kickstarter. We've already backed it, so go check it out.
So Viktor, why don't you give us kind of the elevator pitch? What is Blacklight? What sets it apart, and how does it integrate with Shadowdark?
Well, like you mentioned, it's based primarily on SCP Foundation. For people that don't know, that's kind of like an online creepypasta thing about like a secret organization that like deals with like weird supernatural stuff. And lots of dudes with gas masks and like silenced assault rifles going after monsters and stuff like that. The way I designed it though is that it's pretty flexible. So it's basically like a multiverse. So you could be dealing with anything from like Lovecraftian horrors like one day, and then the next you're like dealing with some stuff that escaped from Ravenloft if you want to. Like I don't care. Like put whatever monster from Shadowdark that's Shadowdark compatible in there, and you can shoot it in the face. That's basically the main the main philosophy.
Hell
there.
yeah.
As far as like how it ties into Shadowdark, so Shadowdark has like the torch mechanic. That's like a core part of the game, in my opinion.
Sure.
And I think that if you write a supplement for Shadowdark, you need to somehow incorporate that in your stuff. If you're like in certain areas with supernatural influences, your batteries drain faster, your light sources are a little bit dimmed. Basically, if you're wearing like night vision goggles, you might only have like an hour of battery juice before they go out, and you have to like fall back on your flashlight. And then that one might also have like an hour of battery juice, and then you might be screwed. So basically, pack enough batteries. And
the torch mechanic is one of the kind of main features of Shadowdark, and people have said that's kind of a gimmick, and I really don't think it is.
No.
After having run Shadowdark a bunch, I use that torch mechanic in any fantasy RPG that I'm doing now, just because you have a lot of stuff to track in a lot of games, and just setting a timer on your phone is awesome. And I think, like you said, preserving that, if you're doing I don't think it's Shadowdark if you're not preserving the light mechanics.
I mean, it's in the name, it's called Shadowdark for a reason, so...
Right. So you've actually got quite a bit of knowledge and interest in firearms and how they work, and it's something that I think is done very poorly in most RPGs. So can you tell us a little bit about the firearms mechanics?
They're actually fairly similar to how I did them in Modern Necessities. So I have like a similar like the reload rule. So instead of tracking ammo, after a combat encounter or at any point of the referee's choosing, you roll a d6, and then each gun has like a certain chance of like requiring a reload. That's also dependent if you've been firing like full auto or not and stuff like that. So, if you've been firing full auto a lot with a certain gun, then again, there might be a 5 in 6 chance that you require a reload because, you've just been expending a lot of bullets. So, it's a bit more fun, I think, than tracking, like, realistic
individual
magazines and stuff.
Mm.
Some people like that, but I don't know. It's Shadowdark. I wanted to keep it
it doesn't
simple.
quite kind of like really nitty gritty resource management doesn't fit perfectly with the Shadowdark kind of rules.
So the core dice for that is a d6, but if you buy like the expanded magazine attachment, it turns into a d8, but the chance otherwise stays the same. So if normally the gun has like a 1 in 6 chance, and now it's a 1 in 8 chance. So you might preserve your ammo a bit more.
So of course, being Black Ops mercenary or Black Ops employee of some shadow government organization or private military group, very different than the happy-go-lucky adventuring party looking for fame and glory. Do you see Blacklight as more of like a mission-based structure?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's definitely more mission based. So it's like they give you the mission to like check up on this cult that's like dealing with like they're worshipping like shadows. They're worshipping the headman. That's actually an adventure I'm writing for. So go take out this cult and shoot up the shadows that they summoned. Like in that way, it's definitely more mission based. But I have also set it up so you can go and like visit like different worlds and actually have like a whole sandbox adventure. So again, like what if a portal opens to like your vampire zone that you're making, and some vampire came out and he messed stuff up, and you shot them, but now this portal's still open and we got to deal with it. Let's go in there and like research what's on the other side and like deal with any threats that come up. So a team gets sent in and kind of like Stargate. You go on a mission to explore this world, which could take months if you want. Like you could literally just go hundreds of miles into this world and have all sorts of adventures, make allies. You could even find treasure, and it's probably it might help you in the world at the time because hey, we need food. I'm gonna pay for it with gold. But it's also like, we found this magical artifact. I'm gonna like save it to bring back to HQ. If we ever get back there, so we can study its magic properties.
Or maybe not bring it back to
keep it on my person at all times.
With regard to leveling, is there any consideration to like getting an increased salary or an increased sort of reputation within the Blacklight Shadow org?
Instead of like gold and stuff, I have something called armory points. So basically you earn armory points, and that allows you to get better weapons from HQ, to get better equipment, to get like, certain favors from HQ, like maybe you can call in like an airstrike or something like that.
Yeah.
I have suggestions for like, hey, if you find treasure, instead of like giving a monetary value to that, give like an armory point value to that, because you're bringing this magical treasure to HQ. And they're like, well, thanks. Here, have some points so you can buy a machine gun. So you do a bit better on the mission next time. So
what types of specialists are Blacklight hiring?
So see, the classes right now are assault. So straightforward. You're the dude with the machine gun, or not the machine gun, but the assault rifle that kicks in the door. I've got support. That's the dude with the machine gun. The one that keeps everyone's heads down with like a big gun. They also have like bonuses to like carry weight and stuff. Like they're the big strong buff dudes that just like was like, oh, we gotta carry this stuff, like let me sling it on my back. I've got recon, so that's kind of like the TV sniper class. So sneak into places, scope it out, or hang back and provide overwatch with a big rifle. I've got the Esper, which is basically you're a psionic. You have psionic powers, and that could be because you've been because you're a survivor of like a previous incident, and you've been exposed to like all these like weird interdimensional energies, and now you've got psychic powers. So I'm actually writing like instead of magic, I'm writing like a whole psionics system, so you can like astral project and stuff like that.
Nice.
Got the cleaner, which is kind of like the assassin. They're the guys they're the guys that go in and like handle stuff quietly. Like say there's like a survivor that like is opening his big yap. And he's actually like being a threat to like he's about to reveal the existence of something that they don't want to reveal. Well, you might be the guy that goes in there with like a silenced 22 pistol and kind of like shuts him up.
That's awesome.
Nice. I definitely want to be a cleaner.
Got the specialist, which I've had that set up so he can be anything from like a hacker to a medic to like the engineer. So it's kind of like flexible. So it's up to you which specialty you take. So you've got the investigator. So that's like. That could be like the ex-homicide cop that was hired, and he's the guy that like goes into some place and looks for clues and talks to witnesses and stuff like that. You've got the liaison, which is basically you're the talking guy. Like sometimes you might be in country and there's like a politician you have to talk to, or there's like a mob boss you have to talk to. And you're the communicator. You're the guy that does the hearts and minds stuff.
That's awesome. That's a ton of options as well. I think players are really going to like that. Nolan Collins as well is one of your primary artists. He's amazing. The thing that I think is actually pretty cool about this is Nolan's going to be doing a lot of work on this book, but you found a lot of art that's a very different style than your previous stuff as well. That I think really fits the vibe.
So my goal kind of with the layout is that obviously it looks like a document, but it looks like a document that's been well used and well read, and like somebody's been scribbling in the margins, has like pasted in their own pictures, has like put in their own sketches. So it's going to be that mix of like like the Polaroids that are like taped in, like with real world pictures, plus Nolan Collins art and like all that other stuff just put in there as if somebody just like drew that in there, like somebody got back from a mission and they just remembered the monster that they fought, so they just drew that in their document.
I've seen some of the Nolan Collins. We'll probably put this up in the edited version of this, but there's like a giant spider gorilla.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, he's got his AR and he's just unloading on it. It's just so awesome. Yeah. So you're well into the creation of this as well. So this is not a project that is just, it's a concept. You know, it's like there's a ton that's already.
Oh no, I've more written than this too, but I just haven't plugged in the layout yet. So I just wanted to like, you know, show enough to give you guys an idea for what I'm going for layout wise.
Right.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
That's like that document look, like that background is like, you know, an A4 that just went to a photocopier, you know.
It's dialed all the way up to 11 with a very evocative, very exciting vibe.
Yeah.
It's simple with a lot of options. It's understandable. People want to do this. I want to do this. And there's a lot of different things you could do. Backrooms to Stalker to Stargate, what have you. But it's all like the river in which all of those individual things, it's a fast flowing, clear cut river.
Yeah.
And it's exciting, action packed, which is also what Shadowdark is sort of leaning into in its core book form already. You're going in, you're carousing, you're coming back. This totally fits that
exactly.
That kind of like thematic loop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. So I'm glad to hear that you guys agree.
Yeah. And I think with the Kickstarter for this, you have quite a backlog now of different games and things that you've run. Is there going to be an opportunity for people who have who back at like a higher tier to maybe get Modern Necessities with this,
or as an add-on?
Yeah, I was actually considering that because you can do add-ons on the Kickstarter, right? So yeah, I was actually consider that, like if you back and you want to also get Modern Necessities plus all the stretch goals from that, you can. I think that would be pretty easy to add.
Is there anything kind of that we didn't touch on already? Is there a killer feature that we haven't talked about?
I wanted to be very flexible. I wanted to have that core team and that mission-based kind of like play, but otherwise be very flexible. So again, you could fight everything from Cthulhu to like orcs to whatever you want, dragons.
And that's a challenging thing to actually make work, where you have a very opinionated setting, but it's still very, very open. And this is a cool place where you found, like you said, it's like the river's all going in one direction, but you've got within that a ton of different genres that can easily be done. I mean, you could do Predator with this. You know, you could do The Thing, The Void. Those are very similar, influenced. I think a lot of crossover there. The X-Files.
Yeah.
You could do something that's a little more akin to a world that's like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where there are demons and vampires and things. Yeah. And you have to have people go in and target them and take them out. It's really, really good. Well, we're definitely going to support this. We'll be backing on day one, which is going to be Saturday, March 1st. Right. This, I think, is going to do extremely well.
I hope so.
And people are going to, I think they're going to love it. I mean, it's all Shadowdark and Blacklight in particular already has kind of its own small cult following. Like you said, random people you've never met before have talked about how much they love this. Yeah. And I think that it's going to be an absolute hit. Yeah. Victor, thank you so much for joining us. This was
you're welcome,
ton of fun.
Yeah, man. Super excited for this.